Let's get it. Wait a minute now. That's the song that song. I know y'all probably can't hear it on YouTube, but anyway, happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you all have had a great week. And you are going to have a great weekend. Be safe. Do those things that you know you're supposed to do. Have fun, all that good stuff. Okay. So look, I will not be before y'all long. I know I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I was exhausted, like mentally exhausted, and I can't give something to someone that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? Real money is gold. Welcome. Happy Friday. So I'm just getting on y'all as you come on YouTube and on TikTok. I ask that y'all for one give the thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you so very much for that for that, Harmony. I appreciate you. Tap it up, of course, and then repost. If you are not new to me, if you're new to me and you have not been here before, you can always repost. For those who are jumping on, share. I know we know sharing is caring. We don't sit here and gatekeep on this side of town, okay? On this side of TikTok, on this side of YouTube, we don't do that over here, okay? Just like you all have information that somebody else needs, you're gonna the expectation. Thank you so very much for sharing the live. The expectation is that when you give out information, we are willing to share it. Okay, so that way we're not holding somebody else or preventing someone else from being able to get the information, and that's the same expectation I have for everybody else. So I thank y'all so very much for jumping on. Like I said, I won't be on here long. We are pretty much talking about have been talking about identifying the hey, what's going on? Hey, sis, I see you. Identifying the best buying opportunities according to what smart money does. Okay, so for my people who are not familiar with what smart money is, who that is, whatever, that is our people who have the big money. Okay, we're talking about our hedge fund managers, our large institutions, the billionaires, okay, the people who make the market move. These individuals look for specific things in the market to tell them to buy, to sell, or to hold. Okay, yes, Jesus put in there whales, right? That's a term that you would hear in the cryptocurrency market. All right. So there are certain things that they look for. So what I am doing, okay, because I cannot tell you legally, I cannot tell you when to buy, I cannot tell you what to buy, I cannot tell you when to sell, and I cannot tell you what to sell. Okay, what's going on, JJ? Happy Friday. Welcome in. Okay, legally, I cannot do that because I'm not a licensed financial advisor yet. Okay, that time is coming. But until then, I got to make sure that I follow along so that way I protect all of us. Oh, what's going on? Happy Friday. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, so as y'all are coming in, okay, I'm gonna ask that y'all tap it up, share, repost, okay, and then YouTube and TikTok, y'all. Let me know where you're tuning in from because I'm curious. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie, I'm curious. I want to know what people watching me from. I'm in Louisiana, okay? So I want to know where everybody at, okay? If you're not in the United States and you're in a different country, that's fine. Type in the chat what country you're from, okay? Where you're tuning in from. We want to see you. We want to know, okay? So I did the formalities, y'all. I want to make sure. Thank you so very much for the perfume. Real money is gold. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Texas. That I was in Texas for a long time. I love Texas. I was in Central Texas though, because I was in the Army, retired from the Army. So that was actually the last place that I was at before we moved to Louisiana, in Central Texas. So yeah, JJ in Florida. All right, Houston. I know a bunch of people in Houston. Not a bunch, but I know a good number of people in Houston, as well. Even family too. Family members as well have moved to Houston. I know you probably like, I wish they'd gone back where they came from because I hear that a lot from people that live in Houston. Like, y'all need to stop. We are full. We are to capacity, child. Go back where you came from. Okay, thank you so very much, JJ. I appreciate that. So yeah, tonight what we're going to be talking about. Yes, tonight what we're going to be talking about is a few things that, or I'll say one of the biggest mistakes that beginners can make. Okay. Hey, come on, Bronx. I'm still waiting. It's been a minute. I always have somebody from New York come on, but I normally have people from Brooklyn. I wonder what happened. Like, all right, JJ, I see you come back. But it's normally people from Brooklyn, and they've been pretty quiet. You know what I'm saying lately? I don't know what's been going on with Brooklyn folks. Because normally, anytime I go live, I'll be like, I bet you if I say it's Brooklyn in the house, somebody gonna be like, "Yup, Brooklyn." That's there's one borough that it don't matter where you are in the world, somebody is from Brooklyn. It's always somebody from Brooklyn. So yeah. So as y'all are coming on YouTube, I ask that y'all do the same. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and then also give the thumbs up, share, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Thank you so very much. What's going on, Mr. Joe? Happy Friday. Um, uh, So yeah, make sure that you share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and then also hit the notification bell. Okay, now let's go because I will not be before y'all too long. All right, I know it's Friday night. This is not when I normally go live, but we're gonna do what we do. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about one of those mistakes that beginners make, one of the biggest mistakes that beginners make, and that is misreading the bottom of the market. My goodness. Okay. There are a lot of people, but I would say I'm gonna just keep it to like the average investor. All right. The average investor doesn't miss those opportunities, to buy because they don't care. Right. It's not that. It's because for them the market doesn't feel safe, right? When that opportunity is present. When the markets are low, prices are low, there's a certain type of thought process that goes through the average investor or new investor's mind. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay. So let me ask y'all this. If you're not driving and if you're not at work, I would really love it if you can respond, even if you're watching a replay. Okay. If y'all can't be here for the entire time, you can always tune into the replay on YouTube. Okay. It's going to be up there. All right. So let me ask y'all this. If you see Bitcoin dropping fast, right? What do you feel first? I want you to type this in the chat. Don't try to come up with an answer. Okay. Type the number one if you feel fear. Okay. You haven't seen any news, you haven't heard anything. You just look at the chart and you see Bitcoin prices just dropping, right? Number one, do you feel fear? Put the number one in the chat. Put the number two in the chat if you're confused, like what the heck is going on? Okay. You want to know what's going on, right? Put the number three in the chat. I see one say excited, or you feel like it's opportunity. So you might be excited, like, hey, Rose hands like Birdman, right? Put the number three in the chat if you feel like that. Okay. And then put the number four in the chat if you're like, I really don't know, like, because I don't understand. So I don't know how to answer that, Leona. Put the number four in the chat. Okay. So real money is gold. I already said, nah, I'm over here rubbing my hands like Birdman. I'm ready. I am super ready. Okay. So with that being said, I want you to just know every single response is not, it's not like it's good or bad. It's your response. All right. So for anyone that has never ever been on any of my lives, right, and this is your first time coming on, all right, not last week, today's Friday, so Tuesday, I'm backing up the truck. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. So yes. So here's the thing. This past Tuesday, my bad, we looked at the chart, and I'm gonna show you how the chart again today because it has changed since we were looking at it on Tuesday. Okay. So we looked at whether Bitcoin might be in the accumulation phase or if it was still in the correction phase. If you do not know what those phases mean, please let me know in the chat. Okay. Thumbs up if you know what it means. Thumbs down if you're like, can you please explain it? Okay. I don't want to move forward if you're like, I don't know what those are because I wasn't here. I never heard that before, or I heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Okay. Thumbs up if you know what it is, and then I can keep on moving. Thumbs down if you're like, I didn't know what it is. I don't know what the accumulation phase is or what it looks like. And thumbs down if thumbs up if you do. Okay. Let me know in the chat real quick. Thumbs up if you know what accumulation phase looks like, what it is. Thumbs down if you're like, nope, I do not know what it looks like. I do not know what it is. Okay. I don't want to keep moving forward. I don't want to move forward if y'all are not good. Okay. So silence means that you're good. So I'm going to keep pushing. Okay, so that's what we talked about on Tuesday. Again, all right. And what we said is, okay, gotcha, good, good. Okay, and so what we said is when we looked at the chart, we said we as a collective, those of us that was live, we said we're watching the 65K level. Okay, 65K level. I'm going to show you while we're looking at it for those of you who were not here. Okay. So what we didn't do is we did not predict the market, and we're not going to predict the market. We created a scenario. Okay. So we have scenario A and we have scenario B. Scenario A says, if the market doesn't do X, Y, and Z, then we're in accumulation. Scenario B says if the market does X, Y, and Z, then we are still in correction. Okay, I'm gonna go over it in a minute. So I want to make sure everybody's good on that. All right. Tonight we're going to do our best to answer a much deeper question, and that is why is it so hard to recognize the bottom while it's happening? Okay, because it's easier to go look at a chart and say, see, this was accumulation. See, this was distribution. See, this was right. It's easier to look in the past and see it. But when it's happening, it's a bit harder. That's what we're talking about tonight. And honestly, this is where I'm learning like that psychology comes in, right? Billy said, can't wait for a good stable president to support crypto. It'll boom then. And I hear you, but I'm not gonna say that's correct or wrong. I would say this: I really do not believe that one person can make an entire market do exactly what they wanted to do, because there are people with more money, more influence. Okay, so not to say that anybody's right or wrong. That's just the own opinion. Okay, but yes, this is where I really feel like this type of conversation. This is a psychology part, right? Welcome, Tommy. I see you. Happy Friday. Okay. So when the markets are rising, right, you notice that, or you probably feel real confident. And then it's not just the cryptocurrency market, it's the stock market. When gold was running up from August until last month, well, the beginning of last month or whatever, right? Everybody still was like, gold this, gold that. And then when everything popped off and oil started to skyrocket, and then gold took a tank, it took a dive, people are like, oh my God. And it's like, is oil replacing gold? Now it's a whole new narrative about what are we doing? When everything is running, people are confident, they're excited, they're optimistic, all of these great feeling things, right? You know what I'm saying? Then when markets are falling, guess what? The average, the average person that is either new to that particular asset or has not really been in the market that long, they're more likely to feel like fearful, right? There's that uncertainty that's going to creep in. That's that hesitation that happens, right? Say, but you don't buy, but you don't buy on hype. That's right. You do not buy on the hype. You're absolutely right. Well, I don't. Let me say that. I can't. Leona doesn't. Okay. I don't now because I know better. Right. So the problem is when it comes to this, y'all, the problem is emotions are strongest at the worst times. Emotions are the strongest at the worst times. Welcome, Stone. I see you. Happy Friday. Like, seriously, when prices are super high, everything feels safe, right? You good. You want to put your money into the market. You know what I'm saying? You don't think twice because you're like, hey, everything is stable. In your mind, right? Everything is stable. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I see my wallet is green. I see my portfolio is green. What's going on, Jay? Welcome. Thank you so very much for the follow. Right? Everything is green. I'm good. My profit is up. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling really great. But then when the prices start to drop, when they get low, everything is risky. Oh my God. Hide your money, hide your wallets, hide. No, no, y'all. Opportunity usually shows up when things feel uncomfortable. Y'all got it? Opportunity usually shows up when things feel uncomfortable. Okay? I, that's right. Absolutely. What's going on, Bullish Babe? Happy Friday. She actually caught alive, a part of my life. I know you're not going to be able to stay, but I appreciate you for jumping on. you know. But yeah, that's what happens, right? So I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and if you can type in the chat, great, type in the chat. If you cannot, I understand because you're driving, you at work. Please don't get fired. Please don't have an accident trying to type in this chat. Okay, I need y'all to be safe. I need you to keep your job so you keep making your money. All right, so you can put money into the market. All right, so question: would you feel more comfortable, okay, buying something at a high price or after it just dropped? Trading, what's going on? Happy Friday. Again, I want you to put it in chat, okay? If you will feel more comfortable buying something at a high price, type the word high. If you say, nah, I'm gonna buy it when price has dropped, put drop in the chat. Type the word drop. Okay. If you're like, yeah, I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? When price is up, I wanna buy it because it's more valuable. Or if you're like, nah, when price drops, I'm getting that thing. I'm getting in there. You hear me? Type drop. All y'all type and drop. I see you. Rhonda, Jesus, Mr. Tommy. Okay. G, what's going on? He say low, low. That's right. You want that crypto to get low, 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 right? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. There are some people who are not honest. I'm not saying y'all aren't, okay? But history, data tells us otherwise. There's a psychological trap that comes into play. What's going on, R? There's a psychological trap that comes into play because there are some people who out their mouth would say, yeah, when the price get low, I'm gonna buy. But guess what? They don't do it. They talk themselves out of it. For whatever reason, talk themselves out of it. Right? They do. They'll sit here and tell themselves, oh man, what if it go lower? I just wait until it go lower. You ever heard somebody say that, or have you said that? What if this ain't the bottom? Or what if this isn't the bottom? Because maybe you don't say the word ain't. All right. What if this isn't the bottom? Right? What if I kid you not, y'all? I have talked to people who, one, don't even invest at all, but two, want to jump into the crypto space and have told me to my face, I'm about to buy, specifically talking about Bitcoin. I'm about to buy Bitcoin at 90K and I haven't bought any crypto at all. And I said, why in the world would you buy at a high? Because at that time it was an all-time high, right? Why would you buy Bitcoin at the high? And this was the answer. Because price keep going up. Because price keeps going up. I'm just gonna buy at the high. What does that sound like to y'all? Can somebody type it in the chat? What does that sound like? There's an acronym that people use. What does that sound like? Type it in the chat real quick if you can, before I say anything. I'm gonna buy at 90K. This is the highest price it has ever been. And I don't invest in anything else. I don't own a home. I don't own any stocks. I don't have any physical gold or silver, right? I don't do any of that. I just have cash. That's it. That's all. And I see Bitcoin is at 90K and I'm about to buy because prices keep going up. That's right. FOMO, y'all. That fear of missing out. Why? Say they confused, child. That is a psychological trap. 21P, thank you so very much for the follow. That is a psychological trap, y'all. When price drops for my people who move in fear, like that FOMO that we was just talking about. When people move in fear, okay, there are questions that they're going to be asking themselves. Now, this isn't the only questions, but these are just like generalized questions, right? Okay. When price drops for my people who are fearful, they're thinking to themselves like, well, what if it goes lower? Like I said, right? What if I lose money? Right? Maybe I should wait. What? What? I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just asking the question. What? Right? So do you think crypto still is that trades on a 4-year cycle or is on a 4-year cycle? I'm on a fence right now. I'm on a fence. I'm on a fence. This cycle is going to what's happening right now. This is going to help me make that decision. And I'm gonna say this because I know there are some people that's gonna be like, well, you should have. I don't need to have anything. I don't need to have an answer for anyone. And the reason why is I don't feel like I need to be the first person to say something out or be right or whatever. I'm a person that collects data. Javier, welcome. Right? I'm a person that collects data. And what we're talking about today is pretty much identifying these phases and these cycles and stuff. And so right now, okay, I feel a bit more strongly like we may be breaking that cycle. However, there's some other things that I'm waiting on, okay, to help me make that decision. Right. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. All right, so I feel like this bull run will be great compared to past 4 years because now everyone is into invest. Boy, aren't they? The people with the big money, baby, they is all up and through crypto right now. They are all up and through crypto right now. Even like me and my husband were talking about because I did a live a month or two ago, whatever, and I did like a crypto versus, right? So we did like Bitcoin versus Ethereum, and then Bitcoin versus XRP. And so we were talking about like, the pros and cons and all that stuff or whatever. And it came up about pretty much, I think it said they were saying like XRP isn't a security, it's a commodity or whatever. And all I said was, yo, I need to see that in black and white. I need to see that in black and white. Like I need the SEC or the CFTC to come out and say, hey, XRP is a commodity, right? Well, guess what just happened? This past week, so when you have more clarity, when you have more of those big money players, smart money involved, your hedge funds, your big, large institutions like BlackRock and things of that nature, right? When you have billionaires, you have government officials, the president of the United States, welcome, Mr. Howard. When you have all of these people now involved in it, yeah, the market is going to look different compared to previous years. So that's the reason why, for me personally, I'm not going to sit here and say yes or no. I'm saying right now, I am leaning more towards yes, the cycle is over. However, okay, I cannot confirm that until things play out, and then that'll be my confirmation. If those things do not play out, then okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm going to lose anything because of it, because I'm invested regardless, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, so we talk about fear, right? And then when talking about that fear, there's an opposite end of that, right? There's an opposite end of that. This is what I would love for more people coming into this space, becoming investors in general, right? To come with the mentality like there's always opportunity. Okay, there's always opportunity. So those of us that have been in this, got some skin in the game, you know what I'm saying? You invested in other markets and then you came over to crypto, but you understand market cycles, you understand how money flows, and you understand your own cash flow, all of this stuff, right? When you have that in place coming into crypto, okay, now you're going to be asking yourself different questions like we asked ourselves on Tuesday and last week. Like, has the selling pressure slowed down? When we're looking at the chart, we're looking to see, okay, are the sellers still in control or buyers in control, right? Is the market or is this particular asset is price stabilizing right now, right? Is this a key level, which is what we talked about on Tuesday? There was a specific price point that I showed everyone last on Tuesday that we're looking to see if Bitcoin holds above or breaks down below. That's going to give us the answer to whether we are in accumulation phase or if we're still in the correction phase. I'm going to show y'all that in a second. Okay? I'm going to show y'all in a second, right? So here's the thing. Here's the difference between the person that has the fear running them and the person that focuses on opportunity. The new person that doesn't understand the market, that doesn't understand investing, that doesn't understand cash flow, that doesn't understand period, versus the person that has skin in the game. Okay? The key difference is you're going to look at the same chart, but you're going to have a different mindset. Would y'all agree or disagree? You can look at the same chart, but have a totally different mindset. That's going to determine if you are running scared in fear, or if you're like, hey, like Real Money's Gold said, I'm backing the truck. I'm backing up the truck. I'm backing up the truck. I am ready. You hear me? Let's get ready for all these profits. Right? That's the difference between the two. The mindset. Okay? So the the thing I want you all to get from this part, just in general, is that fear focuses on what can go wrong. I'm going to say it again. Fear focuses on what can go wrong, but opportunity focuses on what is happening right now. And then not only that, opportunity, people like me, Real Money is Gold. You know what I'm saying? We, Mr. Howard, he probably gone with Mr. Howard. You know what I'm saying? We are like, okay, what scenario could this be? And then what's a possible, outcome? What type of action should I take with this scenario? Then, but if this scenario happened, what type of action should I take? Right? We start planning because we want to make sure that when that time comes, when the alert hits, we can execute. There's no need to hesitate because we got scenario A, we got scenario B, so on and so forth, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this back to that accumulation, okay? So accumulation, for my people who are just joining, weren't here on Tuesday or last week, okay? Accumulation is when large investors slowly begin buying. So remember, that's the smart money people, the hedge fund managers, the billionaires, the large financial institutions and whatnot, right? Kip, welcome. Happy Friday. Okay? This is when they come in. So what accumulation is going to look like, and then I'm going to show y'all on the chart for my people who are just coming in and do not know what accumulation looks like on the chart and don't know what it feels like. I'm about to break that down. Okay? So what it looks like on the chart, right? BlackRock, absolutely, Jesus, right? What it looks like on the chart is there's going to be price moving sideways. Okay? So what we have grown accustomed to, right, in this past cycle was the market was doing this. It'll do this a bit, but it's doing this, right? Now, since October 2025, it started doing this. Right? Going down, but it'll pull back up a little bit, then go down some more. Okay. So this is going to form what we know as people who chart, okay, as lower highs and lower lows. I'm going to show that to y'all on the chart so that way you know. Okay. Right. So at the bottom of that, when it does this and goes down, at the bottom of that, the market is going to start to go like this. So there's no more of this. There's no more of this. Okay. It's now going like this. All right. There's going to be low excitement. Yes, consolidation. There's going to be low excitement. There's going to be mixed opinions. Y'all, there are people on TikTok, crypto educators on TikTok, going back and forth and battling about who's right and who's wrong, about what type of market, what phase of the market we're in, if it's a bull market coming right now, all kind of, they're arguing. Why? What's the point of arguing? Now, are you buying on a consecutive basis? Are you buying every week? Every other week? Once a month? Like, what's your plan? Are you dollar cost averaging? If you're dollar cost averaging, it doesn't matter if it's accumulation or if it's a correction. You're not going to care. They say, where are we now? Or are we on this or that? Right. Like, what are we talking about? The question is, do you dollar cost average? If you dollar cost average, none of that stuff is going to matter. Now, if you're the person that's like, no, I dollar cost average. However, there are areas or I want to be able to buy in bulk, right? At certain times. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's when understanding accumulation, correction, and expansion and distribution, all that, that's when that stuff comes into play. Right? Say, are we still dipping? That's what I'm gonna show y'all in a second. Okay? Because what Leona does is show you so that way you know how to think, not me telling you what to think. Okay? So, what it's going to feel like when you're in accumulation, it's going to be boring. It's going to be confusing. You know, for some, it's going to feel and look risky. It's going to feel unclear, right? But accumulation, y'all, doesn't feel like obvious. It feels uncertain. This is why I want to show y'all what it looks like on the chart. So that way you don't sit here and spaz out when the market does go sideways. Okay? So let me show y'all real quick, and then we're going to do this. Let me pull up my screen, and then y'all can let me know what you think. Because some of y'all weren't here, and I got it. It's okay. You know? So I'm going to make this smaller so that way you can kind of check it out. And then I'm going to bring y'all over here. There we go. Okay. So Mahi asks, are we still dipping? Right? When y'all looking at this chart right now, I'm on the 1 week. Okay? That means every candle represents 1 week of price movement, either up or down. For those of you that do not know, I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence or anything, but I'm going to say it. Green candles mean that price is moving up. That means buyers are in the building. King, what's going on? Happy Friday, right? Red candles mean that price is going down. That means sellers are in the building. They are in control right now. Cool? So if we are looking at this from October 2025, okay? Boom. You see that? October 2025 to where we are today. What is your answer, Mahi? Are we still dipping? Yes or no? From what you see right here, are we still dipping? Yes or no? Because see, what I don't want is people asking me to give them the answer when all you have to do is look and you'll be able to answer the question for yourself. Yes, sir. Right? Price has not pushed. Let me show y'all this. This is a high, correct? Price came down, it pushed back up. It could not pass here. So this is like a little mini lower high, right? Price pushed down some more. So this created what we know as a lower low. This low is lower than this one, correct? Okay. So then price pushed up. The buyers and sellers were in a little competition, but the buyers could not keep it. It closed, it came up here, right? So this low, this high right here is not higher than here nor here, correct? So that means that this is a lower high. Price pushed down again. It went down to 60K. This low is now lower than this 80K low, correct? So that is another lower low. So we have had 2 lower lows since October, since October, right? That's October, right? Yeah, since October 2025. So unless price pushes up past, what's this lower high here? What that say? And I'm trying to push it up here. So 97, 98K, unless Bitcoin price push up above here. Y'all, we're still in the sale. Okay? It has to break above, close above, make a new high, past this 97, 98K. If it doesn't do that, we are still selling. Okay? So let me show y'all what accumulation look like. We got to use past cycles, right, to help us to understand. All right, so this is the past cycle. 2021, this was the high, the final high, right? So that was at 69K. I'm on Kraken on TradingView. Isaiah, welcome. So the 69K, that was the high. Price pushed down. Okay, it came back up a bit. So we pushed down here. It kind of went sideways here. You see that? This high, this little high right here is not higher than that one. So guess what? We're going to say lower high. Okay, cool. Price pushed down some more. This low is lower than this one. So that's a lower low, right? Price pushes up a bit. Couldn't go higher than here. Guess what? That is a lower high. Push down some more, creating another low. That is another lower low. Got it? Okay, cool. So we had this whole bear market, 2021, 2022. Price attempted to move up. Then it went down some more. It had one final push down. I need y'all to see this. One final push down. This was November 2022. And that means that price got all the way down to this 15K-ish mark, right? Everybody see that? 15K-ish. So we went all the way down here, 15K-ish. And notice that, let me move this white line so y'all see it. Okay? What did the market do here, y'all? I'm going to move this other white line out the way. What did it do? What's that word? What's that word? What did it do here? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Consolidate, consolidate. Thank y'all. That's what happens during accumulation. So when the sale is over, it is exhausted. The market now moves sideways. There is a battle between buyers and sellers, but it's not enough to push the market up or down all the way, right? So it moves sideways. Remember, these candles are based on the week. So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. So 2 straight months. Yeah. I'm from the South. Don't judge me. Okay. So yeah. So we talking about 2 straight months of the market just moving sideways. What comes after an accumulation phase when the market moves sideways and it's consolidating? Does anyone know what phase comes after that? Does anyone know? If you know, type it in the chat. What phase comes after accumulation? G say that's where you make your money. Absolutely. That's what, y'all, this is where smart money was entering. Even here, smart money was entering. I'm going to show y'all why. Hold on. Let me move this over some. So even though it broke above a bit, look what ended up happening. Y'all see that? Price stayed in between 25K and 30K-ish. Everybody see that? So again, we had more sideways. This wasn't, I know somebody may have said, but that had to be an expansion because it went up. Okay, yeah, it went up for 3 weeks, but then it went sideways again. It had one good strong week, then it went sideways again. Now, this is like 3-4 months. Right? So that is called accumulation. All right. This is when smart money, your hedge fund managers, your whales, the people with billions of dollars, the financial institutions, your private equity firms that's now investing in these Bitcoin ETFs and crypto ETFs. Y'all, these are the price points that they are buying when the market is doing this. Got it? Now, the phase that comes after, since y'all didn't answer, I take it you didn't know. So don't sit here and like I knew, You know what I'm saying? After I done asked y'all, now I gave y'all some time. Okay. The phase that comes after accumulation is called expansion. What that's going to look like is an explosion of buying. So it's not 1 or 2 weeks of buying. No, it's months of buying. Got it? I'm gonna show y'all. Look. So price finally broke out of that 300. Okay, because that was a bit of resistance. Okay, price came up, pushed down, came up, pushed down, came up, sat on there, pushed down, came up again, pushed down again. Finally broke above it. Bam. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're talking about almost 2 months of straight buying. Does everyone follow? Give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat if you follow. Then it did the sideways movement, so a little bit of reaccumulation, right? Okay. Then it did it again. Boom. Boom. Then it did it again. Some more accumulation, right? It moved a little bit sideways. Then it took off again. Boom. Got it? Then this is where I thought that, okay, Bitcoin is definitely did his run, right? That's what I thought. I was wrong. I was wrong, child. I was wrong. Bitcoin dropped down to 70K-ish, right? And then it took off. Look at this. So we're still in explosion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more weeks of consecutive buying. Then it went sideways a little bit for a few weeks. Then it did 3 more weeks straight buying. Then it went sideways again. Now that means, Ty, welcome. Thank you so very much for the follow too. So that means now after expansion, so we have accumulation is at the bottom. Expansion means it breaks up out of the sideways movement, right? So then it goes sideways again, but the sideways movement is at the top. So now there's a battle between the buyers and the sellers. Can the buyers push price up more, or are the sellers eventually going to take over? Y'all, this phase is the distribution phase, because here's your key. You're going to see a bit of resistance. Welcome, Danny. Happy Friday. You're going to see a bit of resistance. That means price pushes up, bounces back down, pushes up, bounces back down. So look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive weeks of price touching the same area and closing below it. I'm moving it out the way. 119, y'all. For 6 straight weeks, price came here and closed below it. Yeah, it pushed through it, but it closed below. So that means it's resistance because it cannot close above. Mother's Magic, welcome. Thank you so very much for the follow too. Okay, then it pushed down. And then this candle was what these 2 candles I'm going to tell you. These 2 candles were pretty much like, yo, psych your mind. You think I'm about to go up some more? Psych. I'm about to take your money. Okay? I'm about to take your money because this week, you're very welcome. This week, the buy went past that resistance, right? Yeah, it made a new all-time high, 126K-ish, right? On Kraken. Okay? And then guess what? The following week, get out of here. The following week, get out of here. Y'all thought we was buying? No, we're not buying. Welcome back, JJ. I'm not buying. Get out of here. What confirmed that we were in the distribution phase, okay, was when this candle back in November 2025. Thank you so very much for that, Harmony. I appreciate it. When this candle closed below what we now see is support. Well, Leona, how do we know that support? Look at it. Price pushed down here. It closes in this area. It doesn't close below. So we have 1, 2, and then it touches again. That's 3 weeks, and it closes above. Then you have a 4th week. It closes above. 5th week, it closes above. 6th week, it closes above. Seven weeks, y'all. Not consecutive. Thank you so very much for the heart meet. Miss Martine, welcome. Happy Friday. 7 weeks. Price came into this area. This was what? 108. Wasn't this the one I said, oh yeah, I thought this was the all-time high, right? Yeah. So price pushed up here, hit it, but closed below. So it was a form of like resistance, and then it turned into support because price would not close below until November 2025. That told us all this was distribution. The people with the big money, those whales, smart money. Charlamagne, welcome. Happy Friday. Smart money was selling so that way the people who don't know what they're doing, that experience that FOMO, that said, oh man, I see Bitcoin about to keep going up. Let me buy at 119,000. What? Let me buy at 119,000. And smart money said, okay, go ahead. Let me get you let me get you some Bitcoin. Let's put some available. Let me make some available. I'm gonna sell, get it back on the exchange. So now you have some Bitcoin you can buy. Now guess what? Price drops. That turns into a correction. So we are still, as of right now, in the correction phase. This is where the market resets. Price has to drop. It's going to take back some of those gains that have been made over the past 2 years, 3 years actually. So since 2023, the gains that have been made, the market's going to take some of that back. That's how it works. It should not be a surprise to us if we study. Okay? So when I asked them on Tuesday, which phase do you think we are in? Knowing what you know now, I'm going to ask y'all, do you believe we are in the accumulation phase where the market moves sideways and it's at the bottom of a downtrend? Okay. There's a ton of fear. The news isn't really talking about it, right? Do you believe that we are in expansion phase where the market is just pushing up? Okay. Do you believe that we are in a distribution phase? Okay. You believe we're in distribution where we're at the top of a bull market and, it's time to sell off, to take profit? Or do you believe we are in a correction phase where we are going to continue to see lower highs and lower lows because the market has to reset? Which one do you think we're in? Type it in the chat. Mr. Glenn said accumulation 100%. JJ said still bear market. What y'all got? Because we said that on April 7th, y'all, because each one of these candles represents 1 week of price movement. We're going to come back on April 7th and we're going to look to see if indeed we are in the accumulation phase or if price has broke below and closed below this 65K, because this is a critical area. Okay. In order for us to be in accumulation, all right, you can agree or disagree, totally up to you. You're your own person. But I've been studying Bitcoin for quite some time. All right. If we are in accumulation, Bitcoin price will have to stay above this 65K. Okay. We got to give it time to do that based off of, look at this, y'all. It can't be just a couple of weeks. We had just this part alone was 2 months. Okay. But then it pushed up a little bit. And then we had 3-4 months. Okay. Of accumulation again before we had a real deal expansion. Okay. So we're talking about 6-7 months of accumulation. So I got it. There are some people who may say, I want to be the first to call accumulation. I don't give a crap about first. I want Leona wants data to show me unequivocally we are in accumulation. I want data to show me unequivocally we are in a correction still. Yes, it's crypto Zion. Okay. Said when we can stop the panic and pass the laws, we'll be good. Okay. I don't know you, but you can dip out though. Have a good day. All right. So yeah. So that's it. I only had a couple people to say what phase you think we're in. So Zion, since you want to tell somebody what to do, how about you tell us what phase we're in? Are we in accumulation? Are we in expansion? Are we in distribution or in correction? Or did he dip? He dipped out? Yeah, you ain't talking about nothing, bro. Have a good day. Yeah, you good. I said good day. I said good day. Black City. All right, cool. All right. So anyway, so yeah. So some of y'all quiet. I guess y'all don't want to be part of the vote. But we're gonna come back on April 7th. That's Tuesday. JJ said he mad he was the liquidity pool. Oh shoot. Hey, whatever. He got on up out of here though. Black City. He good. So yeah. So April 7th, we'll come back. That's the first Tuesday of April. And we're gonna look at the chart. And we're gonna let the chart tell us where we are. Okay. But what I'm challenging y'all to do is to not rush. Okay. That's it. Let the market play out. Be patient. All right. Patience is gonna pay you way more money than impatience will. You are more likely to lose your money. Okay. You're more likely to lose your money when you are impatient, especially in crypto. But any investment, you're more likely to lose your money. He said he lost hope. That's all. Right. But he said, I'm just gonna come in here and say any old thing because I'm mad I don't lost my money. Okay, go ahead. Go on back to Block City. Okay, so everybody got it, right? Does everyone know the four phases of the market cycle now? You say it's dropping. Yes, sir. I see you, OG. Yep. So when we were doing this, when we were looking on Tuesday, y'all, this kind of was green. So there were people that were saying, "Oh, but we're in accumulation." Okay. I told y'all, look, this line right here is the previous 3-month low of Bitcoin. That's at 80K. Okay. This is the last lower high. That's at 97, 98K, right? Until Bitcoin breaks above this and indefinitely here, my mind is not changing. I don't need all that other fancy stuff. I got it. There are people that use channels and all that stuff. Man, shout out to y'all. Y'all do what y'all do. Okay. I don't need all that stuff. I'm on the week time frame. 1 week. Thank you, because I sure forgot to say it again. Okay. So each candle represents 1 week of price movement, right? I need my stuff to be clean. Show me what I need to see. I don't need all that other stuff. I'm good. Okay. But if you need that, that's fine. That's your thing. He said, I see the bear. Come on. All right. So until price break above and make a new high, right? Until that happen, we're still in correction for Leona. All right. But at the end of the day, shouldn't we all be, if we have been studying this market, if we are investing in Bitcoin because we want to invest in Bitcoin, not because somebody told us to, and we have the money to do so, shouldn't we be dollar cost averaging anyway? Right? Whether it's every week, every other week, once a month, shouldn't we be doing that anyway? Right? Culture, thank you so very much for the follow. I appreciate you. JC, what's going on? Happy Friday. JJ say, yep, I'm telling you, right? We should be doing that anyway. If this is what we want to do, if we want to accumulate Bitcoin. Okay? So with that being said, the vote from what I got this past Tuesday and last week, we have a toss-up between accumulation as a phase that we're in and correction. Okay? That's the toss up. So that's why I said on April 7th, we'll come back and we'll check this out and see. Again, to help us identify if we're still in correction, we need Bitcoin to break below the 65K, this green line. Why? Why do y'all think I say that Bitcoin needs to break and close below this 65K? Type it in the chat for me. Jazz, welcome. Thank you for liking the live. Why do we need Bitcoin to break below this green line, which is at 65K-ish? For my people who are charters, for my people who have been investing for quite some time in the crypto market, tell us why we need to see Bitcoin break and close below this point. 65K. What y'all got? JJ say what goes up must come down and we'll go up again. Okay. Why do we need price to break below 65K? That green line. Type it in the chat. Nav, welcome. Joshin, welcome. I hope I said your name right. Because I sure said it so fast and didn't think about it. Gigi, because of support. Come on. Let's go. It's support, y'all. Price came below here, but closed above. So that's 1, 2, price came below, closed above. 3, price touched it, closed above. 4, price touched it, closed on it. 5, price came over here, open, still closed above. We're talking about 5 weeks, y'all, because this is one 1 week per candle. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And looking at this, hold on. Let me see. Did this one touch it? I can't tell. It kind of looked like it did. It didn't. Okay, yeah. So 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, y'all. 5 straight weeks of price coming here, but could not close below. That is clear support. Got it? JJ said, I wish I could heart comments. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Welcome to Assistant. I see you. Thank you for sharing the live. Welcome in. What's going on, Chief? Chief. Happy Friday. Okay. So this is why I said this. All right. Now you can agree or disagree, y'all. That's totally up to you. Because regardless of what, y'all, listen, I trade and I invest. And one thing I know how to do is look at some charts. I don't need all that fancy stuff. Does it help people? Yeah. But, when I'm trading, that's different. When I'm investing, I don't need all that. Oh, shucks. Man, why this thing ain't doing it? There you go. When I'm looking as an investor, I don't need all that. I just need to see clearly what's going on. Thank you so very much for the finger hearts. I appreciate you. Culture, right? Everybody can see this clearly, right? All-time high. Price push down, forms a low. Attempts to come up, couldn't keep going. Push down some more, lower low. Pushed up, couldn't keep going. So now we have a lower high. Push down some more, another lower low. And now we're looking to see if it's going to form another lower low, a lower high, right? As long as prices not go above here, y'all, we're still in correction. Got it. Thank you so very much for the confetti, JJ. I appreciate you. Okay. That's it. That's all. Let's not overcomplicate it. All right. Any questions about what I showed y'all? Any questions at all? Okay. So now everybody should understand. Let me stop sharing so that way I can see y'all on YouTube. Hey. Hello. Okay. So now, hey, thank you very much, sir. Right. So question. Okay, G say you got it. Real money, awesome learning time. Let's go. This is a good way to spend y'all Friday, right? I'm gonna be gone in a minute. But yeah, Kenny, welcome. Tiger say got it. Okay, I'm a Tigger. Sorry, got it. All right. So look, now I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and then we're about to start wrapping this up. Would you rather invest when things feel clear or when they feel uncertain? Would you rather invest when things are clear, like it makes sense, or when it feels uncertain? JJ say, learning about money. Come on now. What's a better way to spend your Friday than learning about money, to make more money, to save yourself some money, right? Clear, clear for sure. Clear. You got to be patient though. Come on, Gigi. You got to be patient. Thank you for the share. Thank y'all for liking the live too. You're a celebrity. Welcome. G say clear. Come on. All right. Now listen, I got it. You know, a lot of times we're gonna wait for that clarity and all this. I got it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Thank you for the follow too. Tigger, I appreciate it. All right. But I will tell y'all this. I'm not telling you wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I will say this in my experience. Okay. That clarity comes after prices already moved. Oftentimes, that clarity is going to come after prices already moved. I was able to identify clearly the past accumulation phase, right? After that first part of the accumulation, right? I didn't know it was the bottom for sure until price started to move up a bit, and it had been weeks, right? Consecutive small body candles, right? Like for me, I can't speak for anybody else. Glenn said uncertainty is when you buy. Yes, sir. Uncertainty is when you buy, when people are fearful, when the market is fearful. If I have not learned anything else from Warren Buffett, that is the one thing that has stood and stuck and stayed in my head since 2020 of me listening to his old interviews. He said, you buy when the people are fearful. You sell when the people are greedy. That has stuck with me for now 6 years. The man made billions. You know what I'm saying? They say he's the greatest investor of our time, right? So clearly he knows something. You know? Say sometimes you can identify some patterns of the stocks you trade. Yes. Yeah. But you gotta think that I'm speaking for myself. Okay. I had only been investing in a cryptocurrency market 2 years, right? When that bear market hit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fresh in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fresh in this thing. So I'm sitting here figuring it out. But the thing that I knew, like Mr. Glenn said, you buy when times are uncertain. You buy when people are fearful. So that's one thing I knew to do. And that's why my tail started buying Bitcoin in 2023 at 18K. Kid you not, when I saw I look on the week. Okay, as an investor, I look at the week time frame and higher. So I mark the week, the month, and the 3 month. That's how I was able to show y'all 80K was the previous 3-month low. Right? So I sat here and I was like, hey, hold up. It's finally breaking higher now. It's no longer doing this. It's starting to, the candles are getting bigger. Man, let me go ahead and just start buying some more Bitcoin now. Like that, they had to be in the bottom. In my head, immediately, I thought that had to be in the bottom. And thank goodness I was right. But the point is looking to identify certain things, y'all. That's why I want y'all to look at the charts. All the other stuff is great. Do those things. You know what I'm saying? Listen to certain, podcasters that's talking about crypto and, certain articles and regulation and all that stuff is fine. That's fine, whatever. But if you don't do anything else, let the candles tell you what to do. Let the candles tell you what to do. They're speaking your language. You just have to know the language that they're speaking, right? But they're speaking to you. They're telling you what to do, right? JJ said, my butt over. I can't say it because I don't cuss, right? He said, my dumb overlooked many of this in 2023. Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? You live and you learn, but guess what? You know better today. That's 3 years ago. You got this one. Thank you so very much for the heart, me bullish babe. Y'all make sure y'all give her a follow. Especially there were some people came in here asking me about trading and everything. Y'all, she goes live Monday to Friday, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you so very much, sir. Was that right? Bullish Bag, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time in the morning, 9:15 a.m. I want to say I'm correct, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So yeah, if you are wanting to trade, heavy into trading, y'all, there you go. Okay, so yeah, I'm right. 9:15. Okay, y'all go ahead, check her out. She is really, really great, y'all. Okay, and has a really great community. So thank you so very much for the fireworks. I appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. And then Blockchain Bullhorn 2. Let's go. Same thing, y'all. I don't know if that was, hold on. I know he got a whole lot of fake pages out here. So I don't know if that was him. If that was really him, then go ahead and type it in the chat. Say, yeah, that's me for real. Because there's a whole bunch of them fake accounts out here. Thank you so very much, BB. I appreciate you. Hey, Mr. Glenn said, love your energy. Yes. Okay, so it wasn't, because I'm sure sitting here like, hold up, I didn't see anything pop up. So I don't know. He got a whole bunch of fake pages out there. People copying him and stuff. But Bullish Bullhorn is another one too, y'all. Find the person who, you vibe with them. Okay? And just run with it. Thank you so very much for the follow, Mr. Glenn. I appreciate you. All right. So yeah, so we talked about, and I showed y'all what the markets, what the phases look like in the market cycle. Okay. So I showed you what accumulation looks like. I showed you what expansion looked like. I showed you what distribution looks like. I showed you what correction looks like. And then it just repeats, y'all. So the two phases that we have established since last week, thank you so very much for the follow, Jim. The two phases that we have established that we are looking to see if we are in on April 7th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern here, okay, is either accumulation, because Bitcoin stays above 65K, or we're still in the correction phase because Bitcoin breaks below 65K and closes below 65K. Okay? Thank you so very much for sharing. I appreciate you. The Don. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Okay? So there we go. All right. Now, I want to pretty much connect this to something that's very important, y'all. Before I roll out, listen, your financial foundation is critical. We just finished showing the charts. Trucking is dangerous. That is a very unique name. I take it you're in trucking. Okay. We literally just finished. We were on the charts for 30 minutes almost. Okay. So we're wrapping this up now. Sorry. All right. Carlos, welcome. So what I want you guys to do, okay, is make sure that you have a strong financial foundation. It does not matter if you are investing in crypto, stocks, buying precious metals, getting into the oil game, investing in a business, building your own business, y'all. You have to have a strong financial foundation. One of the reasons why people misread the bottom and are not able to invest, right, in the market when prices are super low, is not just because of emotions, y'all. It's because of financial pressure. When your money is funny, when your finances are not in order, y'all, I'm telling you now, it is going to be very difficult for you to maintain long term. Because what is likely to happen if you hit a financial bump and you don't have a cushion, right? You don't understand your own cash flow. You don't know if you're financially healthy enough to get into the market in the first place, right? Danny, welcome. Happy Friday, right? What's likely to happen when you put your money into the cryptocurrency market? Somebody type it in the chat for me real quick. What is most likely to happen? Thank you so very much for the rose, Danny. I appreciate you. What's most likely to happen? You put money into the cryptocurrency market, but you didn't make sure that your money was good. You didn't make sure that you had a strong financial foundation. You didn't have your financial buffer. You didn't have your I got it fund, pretty much an emergency fund, right? You didn't have that stuff. Danny said you lose. JJ said you going broke. Come on. You're going to make emotional decisions based off of your financial situation. You know, you're going to do that. So I always challenge people when I hear certain numbers on BTC, I just came across you. You can challenge. I said what I said. I stand by what I said. And that's why I show what I say. And it's recorded on YouTube. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who cares? I'm buying regardless. But if I'm right, I'm right. Who cares? I'm buying regardless. Cool? Right? So, like I said, if you don't have, as an individual, if you don't have stable income, if you don't have that I got it fund where you can cover any unexpected expenses that are life-threatening, life or death, is going to impact your health, is going to impact your well-being, right? If you cannot control your spending, right, you're going to panic sell. And more than likely, you're going to sell at a loss. Yep. You're going to more than likely sell at a loss. You're going to sell something you didn't want to sell in the first place. But you didn't make sure you had your ducks in a row. You're going to avoid buying. You're going to hesitate buying. You're going to hesitate buying at key points, key levels like we showed. Like question, you don't have to type it in the chat, right? You don't have to. But if you're comfortable with it, right? If you are already investing in Bitcoin, the question is, did you buy when price broke below 65K? Yes or no? Or were you just already dollar cost averaging? Yes or no? Right? You can put the hand raise emoji in the chat. You can type yes, no. You can put a thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be lying to me. You'll be lying to yourself. Right? That was a key area that I showed y'all because it was strong support. Strong support. 5 weeks in a row. Price coming to that area. Closing above. Come down. Close above. Come down. Close above. Come down. Close above. Come down. Close above. 5 straight weeks. You don't think that's a key area? Hey, G say, yup. And you need to put in what you can afford to lose. That's right. Absolutely right. Okay? Again, I'm not here to tell y'all what to do. Because legally, I cannot do that because I'm not a financial advisor, a licensed financial advisor yet. Right? But I can show you what smart money does. So if you say that you want to be, able to catch the moves like the big money people, the whales, those big financial institutions, those hedge fund managers, you need to move like them. You need to look at the charts like they do. You need to study like they do. Right? I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong? The wealth motivator say, I'm looking for accumulation. That's it. Okay? Accumulation, that phase is when smart money is all up and through there. All up and I'm talking about in bulk. They're all up and through there. That's why expansion follows accumulation. Because they're putting more money. They're buying. Now, instead of those small little body candles, you start to see bigger green candles on the chart. The chart is talking to all of us. We just have to know what it's saying. Okay? So, if you are that person that say, you know what, I do need to make sure that my financial health is on point, y'all. I do have a financial health checklist. It's totally free. You can use it. Don't use it. At the end of the day, I created it. Hopefully it helps you. If it helps you, cool. If you say, I don't want to do it, you don't have to get it. Okay? It's that simple. But it's there if you want to use it, if you want to understand where your money is going, if you want to understand how stable or know how stable your situation is, right? If you want to know whether you're in a position to even take this risk of getting into this market or any market for that matter, okay? It's totally up to you. You can choose to do it, choose not to do it. My grandma used to say, don't make me none. Okay? It don't. You do it, great. You don't do it, great. I did it. That's why I created it. Okay? So when talking about investing, y'all, your income, your financial buffer, your savings, all of that stuff, y'all, That is your lifeline. That is your supply line. Like we used to talk about in the military, right? If you do not have your logistics in order, if you do not check and recheck before you go out on a mission to make sure all your supply lines is good, you're going to be out on your butt. The last thing you want is to go out and be deployed and you don't have food, you don't have your paperwork in order, your admin in order, you don't have your supply people, okay, who's going to make sure you have all the supplies you need, and you don't have that in order, y'all, you don't have your supply together, your logistics together, you are screwed royally. This is not the place to come over here and get punched in the face. Like you coming over here and you just doing whatever you want to do, you're gambling, you are going to get punched in the face and it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good. Okay? So we're talking about knowing when to buy, when to hold, when to sell our cryptocurrency, but we're using Bitcoin as a guide. That's for Gloria. Okay? People ask me all the time about this ZBCN. That's not for me. Okay? I'm not your person. I'm not your person. I'm on the big three, y'all. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Okay? And honestly, I don't do all the talking about Ethereum and XRP. I use Bitcoin as a guide for the cryptocurrency market just in general. Okay? Until I'm shown otherwise. Okay? Until I am shown otherwise, and I should stop doing that. Until then, I use Bitcoin as my guide for the crypto market in general. All right? But all that other stuff, meme coins and all that stuff, I don't, that's not my thing. Shout out to the people who do it. Y'all have at it. Hey, thank you so very much, Crypto Stock Markets, for the Harmony. I appreciate you. Thank you for liking the live too. JJ say it's coming. Hey, look, when the time come, I'm with it. I'll pivot. I have no problem with pivoting. But until it happens, I'm going to use the guide for what it's for. It's letting me know when I should buy, when I should sell, when I should hold. That's it. That's all. You know, that's it. Okay. So look, the whole point of this live, it wasn't about fear, because it's definitely not about fear. Okay. I want you all to be more aware and prepare. If you say you want to move like the whales, if you say you want to move like smart money, then you need to start studying like them. Okay? At a bare minimum, know those 4 phases. Be able to identify it on any chart. Do y'all hear me? I would strongly suggest that you use the 1 week time frame. Okay? Do not go lower. Why? Because it's easier for us to see those lower highs, lower lows, those higher lows and higher highs. It's easier for us to see that. It's cleaner. The lower the time frame, the more noise, the less likely you're going to be able to see stuff clearly. So Leona uses the 1 week. If somebody uses a different time frame and it works for them, cool. But for Leona, the 1 week works. Okay? Take it, don't take it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Okay? So let's just bring this back to the market real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to give y'all a little homework assignment, okay? But let's bring this back, okay? So I showed y'all the Bitcoin chart. For my people who did not see it, I'm about to show y'all one more time. Okay? I want you to answer this question when I show y'all the chart, okay? When you looked at the Bitcoin chart, I'm about to show y'all, okay? What did you feel, or what do you feel? Let me show y'all again, because some of y'all just got on here. Okay. When you look at this, I'm on the 1 week time frame. Okay. For the people who just joined, I'm on the 1 week time frame. What do you feel? Do you feel anxious when you're looking at this? Do you feel excited when you're looking at this? Do you feel like I have no idea what I'm looking at, Leona? Are you confused? Right? Which one are you feeling? One, type, if you are saying you're anxious, right? Type the number 1 in the chat. If you are excited or you're looking at it like opportunity, type the number 2 in the chat. If you're like, Leona, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at, I'm confused, child, type the number 3 in the chat. Okay? There's no right or wrong, y'all. E-Love said, I think it's going to soar, honestly. Okay. Rose said, I'm confused. Okay, I got you. It's okay. Right? It's okay. So what are y'all thinking? 2, you're looking for opportunity. Mr. G say, hey, listen, I'm rubbing my hands like Birdman up in here. I'm ready. What you talking about? Okay. Lance say it's going to 43.5. Okay. Oh, you're just learning. I got you. Okay, cool. No biggie. But that's why I'm here, y'all. These lives are typically for beginners. That's why I don't use a whole lot of crypto jargon and stuff without explaining it too. Okay? So I want y'all to know it's not like it's a bad thing if you're feeling some type of way. All right? Some of us are going to see opportunity. Some of us are looking at it like, oops. Some of us are looking at it like, yep, I'm ready to buy some more. I want to see it push down below 65K again. I want to see it do that. I want to see it close below 65K. Because if it closed below 65K, dog, I'm in there like swimwear. Because I already know we're still in the correction phase. If it does that and we're still in the correction phase, what does that mean? Price has to go lower. It's going to have to create a lower low. So those people that's putting there is going to go to 43.5, it's going to go to 50K and stuff. They would be correct in their assumption. Bitcoin has to close below 65K though. It doesn't do that. And guess what? Correction phase is over. Accumulation is here. Price has only retraced, okay, roughly 50%. It is not repeating the 70K plus, or the 70%-ish that it did of the previous 2 cycles. Okay. But if you bought at 60, 65K, right, you still good. If this is indeed, if price never goes below that 65K again and close below 65K, then correction phase is over. Smoke, thank you so very much for liking the live. Okay? You don't need to be mad at it. It's just, now you know, after correction comes accumulation, and who gets involved when there is an accumulation phase. Type it in the chat. Who are the people that get involved in the market during the accumulation phase? Type it in the chat. If y'all have been listening to anything I said, type it in the chat. Champ said never bought it. Okay, maybe you don't believe in Bitcoin, and that's fine. Okay, JJ say the big dogs. Oh, come on. They come through with the billions. Okay, the smart money comes in heavy during the accumulation phase. So guess what? You won't be late. You won't. You just didn't get in at 60K or 65, but you know what I'm saying? As long as it's still above 65K and under 80K, you're still good. Okay? G, thank you so very much for the follow. Jesus said the whales, BlackRock, Vanguard, all them people with these Bitcoin ETFs. Okay? They're going to buy up more Bitcoin because they need to. Thank you so very much for the hand heart, JJ. I appreciate you. Right? They're going to buy up more Bitcoin because they're going to have more investors in their Bitcoin ETF. Because now there's more belief. There's more confidence. The fear is there, but it's not as strong. It's not extreme fear. Sentiment. I think that's what it said. Thank you so very much, JJ, for the galaxy. Come on, JJ. Come on through. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, for real. Okay? So all of those feelings that we felt, Jess, thank you for liking the live too. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody that's liking, sharing, reposting, commenting, all of it. I appreciate y'all, right? So all of these feelings, all of these thoughts are normal, okay? The goal for all of us, and especially if you are a beginner in this market, the goal is to move from emotional reaction to structured observation. You want to be a really great collector of data. And then when you collect, come on, JJ, 2 of them back to back. Come on. 2 galaxies back to back, boy. Boy, look at you. I appreciate you. Right? And your number went up from 22 to 23. Come on, you don't leveled up too. Go ahead, JJ. Mr. Land said dollar cost average. That's right. Right? You want to be able to collect the data and then let the data tell you this is the prime time to buy, to sell, to hold. Okay? That's all you're doing. And for my people who say I'm not selling my Bitcoin, I'm not telling y'all to sell your Bitcoin because I'm not. I've learned my lesson, child, because I have sold some Bitcoin. And when I look back and see, dang, I could have had, I'm like, I'll never, ever do it again. However, I hold Bitcoin ETFs. So guess what I did? I sold some of my shares of my Grayscale Bitcoin ETFs. Come on. Back to back. Buddy don't sit here and said 3 galaxies back to back. Come on, JJ. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Right? Candle Club, welcome. Happy Friday. So yeah, the goal is to use this information, right? Study, apply. Thank you very much, sir. Did that voice match the head and the mustache? Did it? I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do that every time. If y'all said that it matched it, then I'm gonna do that every single time. All right, I'm gonna do that every time. Every time. Okay. So yeah, we want to be collectors of data, y'all. We want to move from that emotion and reacting to that structured observation. That's what's gonna make us the most money, okay? And we'll be able to do that long term. And think about it, y'all. What you learned tonight, knowing those 4 phases of the market cycle, you can apply that to everything. Everything, whatever you're investing in, you can go look at the charts and say, let me identify the accumulation phase. Let me go identify the expansion phase. Let me go identify the distribution phase. Let me go identify the past correction. And then say, where are we right now? S&P 500. Right? So if you invest in the SPY, if you invest in NVIDIA, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Right? You can put it on anything. Sicarius, welcome. Happy Friday. Right? You can put it on anything. And that's going to help you to find better buying opportunities. And you're less likely to respond to the market with emotion. And you're going to be moving more like those smart money people. Okay? Patience is going to pay us big time, y'all. Let's be patient. All right. So the biggest lesson today, or tonight, I should say, is this. Market bottoms don't feel safe. They feel uncertain. However, that's why a good number of the average investors miss them. Okay? So if we know that, now we can do better, right? We know better, we do better. JJ says stocks, I do ETLs because I make, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. You can use that for your ETLs too. So that's why I was like SPY, VOO, VTI, VEA for my people who want to invest in, companies that are outside the United States. If everybody here lives in the United States, like you can look into that stuff. I'm not telling y'all what to invest in. Let me be clear on that again. I'm saying you can use what I just showed you and go look at the charts of all of these things, okay? The stocks, the companies, Apple, Amazon, and so on, NVIDIA, ETFs, and so on, gold, silver, all of that. Identify the phase, and that'll tell you if you should buy, sell, or hold. Got it? Okay, so your homework assignment, and then I gotta go because I need to go give my family. It's Friday night. I appreciate y'all for joining me on a Friday night. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all were great tonight. Okay, so your homework assignment over the weekend until we meet again on Tuesday. All right. Rob, my bad. They say best way to start learning how to read. Read what the charts are saying, please. So I can't tell y'all what's the best way. It's kind of like trial and error, to be honest. Like for me, that was it. Everybody has their way of doing stuff. So it totally depends on you as a person. Leona, from an investor standpoint, I appreciate that, JJ. All right. I look at 3 specific. Come on, JJ with another galaxy 4 times. My boy, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, JJ? I appreciate you. I do. I wasn't expecting that tonight, but I appreciate it for sure. Okay. So I look at the week. Okay. So I work my way down. I do something called a top-down analysis for my people who don't know what that is. It's pretty much you going from a higher time frame all the way down. So for you, what do you want me to call you? Because that's a long name. God, universe, spirit, source. Just want me to say Rob? Like, because that's long. That is long. I'm sorry. But what I do, what Leona does is I go from, Ro. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you for correcting me. So I got you. Anytime you come on here, I'm going to say Ro. I got you. All right. So what I do is when I'm looking as an investor, with my investor hat on, not my trading hat. When I'm looking as an investor, I look at 3 time frames. I go from the 3-month, okay, on TradingView, which is totally free, y'all. You do not have to pay unless you want to use certain features, okay? But it's just fine, y'all, if you use it for free, all right? You ain't got to pay any money. So I mark how high price went. Sakaris, thank you so very much for the follow. And then I mark how low it went on the 3-month. Then I go down to the 1 month. So that means every candle is 1 month of price movement. I do the same thing. I go from the high. I mark that with that horizontal line. Oh, thank you for the night star. That's cute. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. I mark the high for that month, the previous month, and then I mark the low for the previous month. Okay? Not open and close, y'all. So if there's a skinny up, as a matter of fact, hold on, let me show y'all real quick. So that way you can see what I'm talking about. Because me explaining it probably isn't going to do it any justice. So let me just show you real quick. And then we out. Okay? Yes. Some people call it shadow. Some people call it wick. Totally up to you. All right? So let's go. So, all right. So see how, oops, let me move this out the way. So I'm going to do this. Because this isn't the chart that I normally use. So that's why this one isn't marked. I don't use Kraken. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Wrong color. And I color code mine, y'all. So there's certain colors I use to remind me. This is a 3-month. When it's this color, I know it's 3 months. So this is the current 3-month candle. I don't mark that one. I mark the previous one. Got it? So how high did it go? How low did it go? Not the open and the close. Got it? That's what Leona does. Then I go down to the 1 month. Thank you so very much for the Rosa stock crypto stock markets. I appreciate you. I thought you were gone. Okay. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Right. Then I go down to the 1 month, which I showed y'all. Okay. And I use that horizontal line. This is the current month. I'll mark the previous month. I change the color so I know what my colors mean. Okay. So orange for me is 1 month. So I do that. That's the high. And then I have the low. And I try to get it as close as possible. And I actually lock them too. On TradingView, you can lock them. So that way, if you messing around, you don't accidentally, move it. Okay. And then I go to the week, 1 week, because as an investor, that's as far as I'm going. Okay. And then I do the same thing. I mark the low and then however high it went, which is here. This is the current week, y'all. This is the previous. And that's it. Okay. So now I will be able to see how high did price go the previous 3 months, right? How high did price go for the previous month? How high did price go for the previous week? And then lows as well. That kind of gives me a gauge of where price is going to play out. That makes sense? That's for me, that's a simple thing. I don't need everything else as an investor yet. Okay? As a person that invests, I just want to see what areas is price going to play around in. Okay? Now, for my people that trade, you're going to use all these fancy indicators, your stochastics, RSIs, and Fib, which I love the Fibonacci and child, so don't, judge me. Okay? But, your EMAs and all, you're going to use all that stuff. Okay? That's fine if that's what you want to do. But for Leona, when you invest in, you don't need all of that stuff. You just need to see where's price playing around it. If I can see clearly, price was all the way up here and it's down here right now. I can see clearly that this area is a form of support. So this is telling me that if price comes down here, it breaks and closes, meaning the body of this candle comes down here and closes. Dog, Bitcoin has the potential to go lower. Got it? If it doesn't do that and it just plays around in here, this is previous 3-month low, right? So if it plays around 65K, 80K, and then finally comes up a bit, but it doesn't quite close above 97K, 98, then guess what? We just sitting in accumulation, but guess what you can be doing? What the smart money does. They buy during accumulation. So if we are in accumulation, then you should be buying. If we're not in accumulation and still in correction, which is what Leona believes, okay? If we're still in correction, then you're still going to end up buying more anyway. So either way, you're going to be buying. Does that make sense? Either way, you're going to be buying. If we're in a correction phase still, which I believe, if we're in accumulation, which I don't believe, you're still going to be buying in both of those phases. The key is to know when it breaks out of that. Because when it breaks out of that, y'all, you need to be looking at your exit plan, meaning I'm not buying any more Bitcoin in bulk when price gets where. Okay? When price gets where, I'm not going to buy any more Bitcoin in bulk. You're still going to, JJ say dollar cost average all the way. Absolutely. But if you're that person that's saying, hey, I want to, like Michael Saylor, God bless him. But there has to be a certain price point that you say, hey, once it get here, I'm done buying in bulk. And I just continue to do my dollar cost averaging every week, every other week, once a month, whatever it's going to be. Cool? He said they got money. Right. They can do that. Okay? I wouldn't, even if I do have it. But still, I want to get it at the lowest price. Right? Crypto stock market said it will go lower, go 50% lower over the next 7 months. And you know what, y'all? I'm telling you now. There will be signs. That's all I'm going to say. There will be signs. Okay? If you know, you know. I don't have to say much of nothing else. Okay? So your homework, y'all, so we can wrap this up, okay? Your homework is to look at the Bitcoin chart, or if you're like, I don't want to look at Bitcoin, Leon, I want to look at something else, but pick what you want to look at, okay? JJ said I can have 100 mil plus not catching me buying that much. Right. I'm not about to sit here and buy no higher price just because I got millions. That don't make sense to me. That makes sense to me. That's how you keep your millions, right? You know what I'm saying? That's how you're able to pass on millions, because you're smart. You invest at lower prices. You invest when everybody's scared, when everybody's selling their stuff off because they can't afford to hold it. All right. So your homework assignment is you're gonna look at Bitcoin or whichever chart you want to look at, okay? And you're gonna ask yourself these questions. Number one, is price falling, stabilizing, or rising? Stabilizing meaning it's consolidating, y'all. It's moving sideways. Okay. So which one is it doing? Is it falling, meaning we have a downward trend going on? Is it stabilizing, which means it's sideways? More than likely, you may be in an accumulation phase. Okay. Or is it rising? Okay. That means that you are in you are entering or already into an expansion. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. That means that you are either entering or already in an expansion phase. Okay. Number two to that is you want to see or ask yourself, is the volatility of that? Thank you so very much for the roses. I appreciate you, JJ. Man, JJ been coming through tonight, man. That I feel like I did a good job then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's been a minute, but I feel like I'm doing a good job. So thank you, JJ. You kind of, you know what I'm saying, make my head get big a little bit. Not really, but but yeah. Ask yourself, is volatility increasing or decreasing? Okay. If there's more volatility, then guess what? Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. If there's more volatility, then you know what phase you're looking at. If it's decreasing, then guess what? More than likely, accumulation. Okay. The second part to your homework. Welcome, Clay. The second part to your homework is to identify the emotion attached to you looking at that particular chart. So if it's not Bitcoin and you're looking at XRP and you're identifying the phases, you're identifying if it's falling, it's stabilizing, it's rising, is it volatile, is it increasing, is it decreasing? Once you do that, I want you to identify the feeling. How do you feel when you look at that chart? Okay. Is it fear? Is it being anxious? Is it confused? Like, what the heck am I looking at? What's going on? This is not making sense. Are you like, hey, it's about that time. Come on, just a little bit more. Come on, just a little bit. Okay. Whatever you're feeling, write that down. Okay. The last part, and I know I shouldn't put this last, okay, but this is huge. JJ said helping people come out of the normal lifestyle that we used to, just on them to maintain. Yeah, man. Yeah, we do what we do. Okay. Hopefully everybody here, welcome Elite. Hopefully everybody here, okay, that has been watching the entire live or come in at some point during the live. If you missed it and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have saw the whole thing. It's being recorded right now on YouTube. Okay. And that's Prosperity Calls on YouTube. You can go watch the replay because we showed charts and everything. And we did a little vote so that way people can see, let us know if you believe right now Bitcoin is in the accumulation phase or the consolidation phase. I said consolidation, the correction phase. Both of them C's, y'all. My bad. Okay. So we took a vote and we still, 50-50 on that. Okay. Everybody know what I said, what phase we're still in, but that's in the video if you want to watch the replay. Okay. So the third part, which is super important, is to identify and review, I should say, your financial position. It makes no sense to invest and you have no idea what's going on with your money. Okay. So this is a way to prevent you from panic selling. Okay. To prevent you from hesitating because you can't buy because you don't know how your money's moving, how you're going to be able to no. Let's get our finances in order. So you're going to review your financial position by asking yourself, do I understand my income in general? Like how much money is coming in, the frequency in which it's coming in, the sources from which it's coming in. Okay. Because not everybody only gets their W-2 pay, right? There are some people who invest in real estate. There are some people who get alimony, child support, all kind of stuff. Okay. Welcome back, Mr. Howard. We're about to go though, but welcome back. Okay. So understand your income, when it's coming in, the frequency in which is coming in, and the source of your income. Okay. Also, when you do this, I want you to understand, look at, do I know my expenses? Do I know what is coming out, the frequency in which is coming out, and the amount that is coming out. Okay? So we need to know our income and our expenses, right? That's your fixed and your variable expenses. So I got it every month. There's certain things that come out, but what about the stuff that don't come out every single month? What about the stuff that come out once a quarter? Once a year, right? What about the stuff that the little ankle biters, that $5 here, that $25 there? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I had to catch myself with Starbucks. Child, y'all will be like, Leona, why? Why were you spending that amount of money a month on Starbucks? I will not tell y'all because I'm totally ashamed. I'm not even gonna front. Okay. But if I didn't do the stuff that I'm talking to y'all about, I wouldn't have caught it. Okay. I wouldn't be able to invest in the things that I invest in, the frequency in which I invest, if I wouldn't have caught it. Right, JJ, talking about that'll catch up with you for real. It will catch up with you, and you'll be like, wait a freaking minute. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm supposed to have this amount of money left by the end of the month, and you sitting here like, where all my money went? Okay. This is why I need y'all to do this type of stuff, okay? And then before you invest, okay, part of your homework is identify your savings plan. Do you have savings? High yield savings account, regular savings account, which I would not suggest, but that's your money. Do what you want to do, okay? But high yield savings account, do I have it? What is the assignment of that money in that high yield savings account? Don't just have a high yield savings account just because. Okay? Come on, y'all. It should have an assignment. Is the money in that high yield savings account going towards land? Is that money in the savings account going to a vacation? Right? Is that a vacation fund? Is the money in that high yield savings account going to a college plan, even though you should have a 529? You'll be able to make more money that way. Okay? But, not my business. Right? I just say beginners, you're literally retail. Yeah. Jay just say stable coins is my say. Yeah. And that's another one. We talked about this maybe last month, the month before, right? Having a stable stash. So that way, when Bitcoin drops to those prices y'all were talking about on TikTok, right? Or XRP drops to the price that you wanted to drop to, or Ethereum or Solana, whatever you're investing in, when it drops to that price point, you don't have to worry about, let me pull this money from my bank account and go buy it. It's already in the crypto market. All you have to do is exchange it. So if you're holding USDC, that's where your stable stash is at. Now you exchange that USDC for your Bitcoin, for your Ethereum, for your XRP, whatever, because it's already in the crypto market. Okay? But what is the point of you saving? Give it an assignment. Okay? That's part of your homework. All right? I want y'all to win. So I got it. Talking about money in that way, for some of y'all, is like, ugh, you're like cringe. Okay, I hear you. But baby, it's going to be hard for you to make more money when you don't want to talk about money and you feel negative when you talk about money. You are repelling the money that you say you want. What's going on, Leah? I see you. Happy Friday. Right? You're repelling the money that you say you want. If I talk about a budget and you're like, ugh, what? The budget is what's going to show you and help you to identify where you can put more of your money, what you can invest in, what you should be spending your money on based on what you want to do. You the one that creates your budget, so why you you know what I'm saying? JJ say, if you don't want to be poor, you better listen. Come on now. Maybe some people want to be poor. Maybe some people want to stay in poverty, so that way they can complain about it and get sympathy and, get government assistance. I don't know. I was their child. I ain't have a choice when I was a kid. I'm grown now. I got a choice, and I'll be dog. I'll be dog if I'm relying on anybody. They don't care about none of us. I will not be letting nobody sit here and dictate how much money I can get and how much I can invest. Absolutely not. That's on me. Thank you, Leah. Say I'm 100% am in agreement with you. I'm telling you. Come on. So our goal out of all of this, okay, is to start thinking like an analyst, okay? We want to move as closely as possible as we can to those smart money investors, okay? We may not have the money that they have at this moment. If that's not your desire to be a multimillionaire or billionaire, that's fine, okay? I ain't here to tell you you right or wrong. That's not my business, okay? You live how you want to live. But if you want to be able to enter and exit the market like the smart money folks, then you need to start analyzing the charts like the smart money folks. We need to stop reacting like a spectator. Okay? That is the goal of all this stuff that I've been talking about for the past, week and a half. Okay? I got it, y'all. Crypto can feel confusing. All right? Especially when you're new. I understand that. Totally understand that. But here's the thing. Once you understand how emotions and markets connect, things start to make a lot of sense. It makes way more sense. Got it? All right. So if y'all learned something tonight, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat. If you enjoyed yourself tonight, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat. Okay? Make sure that you come back on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. All right. We'll be continuing on to help my beginners out here to understand and identify ways to see when the market is telling them to buy, sell, or hold. Okay. Because I already know that's a question I get all the time. When should I buy some more Bitcoin? When should I buy this? When should I buy that? I can't tell you when to buy anything, but I can show you what smart money does. All right, JJ got me. Ra. Okay, I said Ra. Ro. I got it. I fixed it real quick. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's not it. Fix it, Leona. Rich man, welcome. Happy Friday. Okay, so thank y'all for all the likes. Thank you so very much for the shares, the reposts, the comments, the engagement. I appreciate y'all. I love it. All right. So yeah, y'all have a great night, great weekend, and I'll see y'all on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Bye, y'all.